It's Kirsten, or Cat Bambini, Peace Point Production, and I just got the prompt to do another video about triangulation. This is a huge one with narcissists. I was just watching a tarot reading about the divine masculine and feminine with a spiritual gangster, and she was talking about some things that were pretty prescient for me, and about another person in the mix. And what they do is, if you know about hoovering, so hopefully you've watched my video or other videos about hoovering. I may make another one because my earlier videos, the art got cut off. It's a little whack right now. And I don't know what happened there. And they're just, at various stages of my health too when I was recovering from this issue. So they're not consistent necessarily with my parents, stuff like that. So I'll probably remake them. That's a little bit of shop talk for you. Welcome to the new viewers. Thank you so much for being here. All of you, I can feel your energy. I can feel how positive and uplifting you are. You guys don't seem like a negative bunch. You're just in a knock-on, particle board here. Just really, really, your energy is great. And I really appreciate having you here, even the drive-by and people who are here for the first time. Feel free to comment below. We have to keep it nice. Everybody's welcome to watch. It doesn't matter if you're a narcissist or recovering from narcissistic abuse. Everybody is welcome to watch. This is an educational channel on narcissism, and we talk about narcissism and the various traits and behaviors that narcissists have based on personal experience. I change names, places, things like that, but also research. I've done tons of research on this topic, and I follow all of the trailblazing pioneers in the field. And my coach is Narc Survivor, who does tons of videos. If you want to, really snap yourself out of it, I would watch some of his videos. I watch them all the time just to remind myself, like, dude, don't get sucked back into the hoover. So the hoover is when they wait around and they try to get you back, especially when you're doing better, because they suddenly want you back. So I want to talk about triangulation. Triangulation is when basically narcissists always have to have supply, and I'm sorry if my voice is low, my neighbors are asleep, it's late at night here. We have very thin walls and people work, 9 to 5, or they just work a lot, so I don't want to wake anybody up. But I'm just very respectful of my neighbors. So if you can't hear me, I am so sorry. I hope there's a caption or a subtitle working so that you can get my words, and I'll try to slow down a little bit so that captures. Triangulation is basically what they do. So when I was, there's been individuals that got me into a relationship by comparing me to another woman. And they will always have another woman on the plate, even when they're with you. It's called spinning plates. There's a lot of the red pill handbook seems to go hand in hand with narcissism a lot of the time, because they get a lot of these tips out of that book. They may not read it, but they seem to do the similar things that are coercive control, which is treating you like an object. You're a supply. You're just a supply. So you're never enough for them. It's not anything about you. No matter what you do, it's never going to be enough. So don't worry about that. You're never going to please them. They are like bottomless pits. They're like a bucket with a hole in it. And once you realize that, you can start to reach recovery and get yourself to a place where you don't depend on them for your support and feedback. So don't take it personally, the triangulation. It's what they do. They will always secretly have somebody they're dating, and then they'll come back to you, when that is not working for them, and they won't tell you about it, or they'll tell you about it to make you jealous. So they may start comparing you to somebody else and say there was somebody else, or they may hoover you back, get you in emotionally, make sure that you're hooked, and then start to tell you about the other person. Oh, by the way, I was sleeping with so-and-so, or I've been sleeping with so-and-so because you're not here, and you're not doing this for me, and you're not good enough. But the other person is also dealing with that. They're dealing with that person still coming back to you. Or if you're in the relationship, you're dealing with them going back to another person, or maybe they're still contacting their exes, because they're always keeping them there. I remember I was with an individual who had somebody they had hooked up with on Instagram still, just still kind of looking at her as an object. I wish she knew this. I wish I was friends with her so I could tell her, but you can't really do anything about it. All you can do is kind of do what I do, which is educate. I educate on a channel so that if those individuals wanted to see what was going on, they could check. But usually they're so on the side of the narcissist that they wouldn't get it. So if somebody was coming to my channel to stalk me and find out why the narcissist was into me, if I had a narcissist stalking me, they would probably be disparaging and put me down because the narcissist is building them up based on putting me down and has put a lot of ideas in their head about who I am. And so they will believe this because they're gullible and they think that the narcissist is a nice person because they've been grooming them to be supply. So that's just wanted to get that out there. And the triangulation is very complex. They may have many people, but the trick and the way that they use this, what they do is, the reason they do this is so that they can always have enough supply. It's like having enough food. It's like they have a buffet of women or men, you know, available to draw upon for sex. They love sex, you know, most of them, for encouragement, for validation, because they have a false self. Their false self always needs to be validated. And if you are not validating that false self, then you're out. You're a problem. And they will go to the other supply, and they'll always go back and forth like this. They are always like this. So the individuals I've met that are like this have been like this their whole lives. And I've spoken with, you know, exes, stuff like that, who've told me, and I, you know, didn't listen, of course. I thought I was different. I wish I would have listened, but, you know, they tried to warn me. So it's, you know, it's, and then with certain individuals, you know, like female narcissists did the same thing, the triangulation of having other friends who they would hang out with instead of me and kind of put me on the back burner, and then, you know, toot my horn, tell me I was really special, and then, you know, go back and tell me that I wasn't, you know, and then just avoid or neglect me, you know, as a friend for a long time, and then come back around when they needed supply. And I don't deal with that anymore. I just don't. I know when it's happening. I trust my sixth sense. I trust my third eye. I trust my psychic sense. So that's why when I watched that reading, I just wanted to come back here and talk to you guys, because I haven't talked about triangulation yet. I made a video a while back. It wasn't good enough, so I didn't put it up. But that's just a basic overview, and there's probably many other facets. I would recommend going to Dr. Ramani, a clinical psychologist, on YouTube, and look up triangulation if you want more about this. But please get it into your head and realize that they do always have other people. They're going to say that you're the only one, but part of their MO is having other people on the back burner because you're a supply. Nobody is going to fulfill them. You're never going to be enough for them, no matter what you do. So if you know that, then you can start to heal. And just wanted to throw that out there, short little one for you. Keep it cool, stay safe. You guys who are being abused, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline. I'm going to start putting it in every description here so that you guys will call that number, or even go to loveisrespect.org and text them on their chat. Also, the National Domestic Violence Hotline in America, this is for Americans. You may have a similar in your country. Has a chat line as well, so you can chat with them, and they'll be there for you, and you can ask them about what's going on, and, you know, start to verify that you're with a narcissist or in an abusive relationship. Being it out, relationships with narcissists are abusive. They are emotionally abusive. They use you. They're not really in love with you. They love bomb you. They devalue, discard, hoover, lover, devalue, discard, hoover, and when they're in the devalue and discard, they have another supply at that time. That's how they're able to devalue, because they can never devalue or discard you unless there was another one in the mix. So I'm sorry if this is waking some people up to a horrible reality, but you need this in order to get better. And I'm that person for you. Peace Punk Production is all about telling the truth and getting the word out there about ways that you might be swindled by these people. Because yes, like I said, we only talk about narcissism here. I even took down my personal music videos and stuff like that because those aren't related to narcissism, and I wasn't trying to promote my music with this channel. Somebody had mentioned that. Anyways, so yeah, I just want to get that clear here. That's not about my music or my art and anything like that. If I mention my social media accounts, it's if you want to see more about me and know about me and read my poetry and stuff like that and see what I'm doing to cope and to have a creative outlet, because I'm an artist and have been my entire life. You can check out my social media, cat_Bambini, or Peace Punk Production, where I just put a lot of self-care, positive quotes, things about narcissism, if you want to follow that, because it's a daily, I post a lot every day. And so if you need that pep talk, it's a good thing to follow Peace Punk Production. And then if you want to see my wacky art self, turbo posting, I don't recommend, if you don't like turbo posting, to follow me. But otherwise, you know, lip syncing and poetry and stuff like that. But I'm not doing this channel to promote that. It's just to see like ways that you can cope. And I always encourage being artistic. I always encourage having an outlet, something that will make you forget for a little while about the narcissist, and listen to music, get some playlists on Spotify. If you guys need some, I can share some with you. I have a ton from, you know, going through this stuff, so they fit, you know, each one has a theme. So, you know, I can share that as well if you want. I can make, those are public. So anyhow, triangulation. And I would love to hear your guys' experience with this. What is your experience? It makes other people feel better when they know what you've gone through. And when I was going through this, it was very hard. And even when I got into a relationship that was narcissistic, I felt sorry for the other woman. And so I jumped in the relationship to try to spare her, because I'm an empath, a super empath, they call it. And you probably are too if you're watching this, because you'd be drawn to it because you are. You're probably a psychic or an empath or a light worker. And I've talked about those things. I've talked about being a light worker. There's a video called Narcissists and Light Workers. Check that out. I don't look the best in it. I may take it down, but you know, I did the best I could. So I'm always, you know, critical of my parents because of the narcissist, and because our society in America is like that. And because viewers tend to be like that. They tend to judge your parents, but I tend to just be like, whatever, be yourself. Be yourself. It's all good. And I try to be funky, like my normal self, so that you'll be encouraged to be funky as well, and that you have an example for that. So teenagers, children are welcome here. Sometimes I do cuss, so I've made those ones 18 and under cannot look at them if there's too many cuss words. But I think I took down the only video that was really a lot of cuss words. But that's the only thing that parents might be warned about if they're going to have their teenagers watch this channel. Otherwise, they're welcome, and I'm trying to really improve my cussing here so that they can watch the channel, because I really want them here, because I want them to learn these things. So share this with your teenagers if you can, and for your artistic teenagers, for your punky teenagers, for your courageous teenagers who are dealing with relationships and learning about how to date, stuff like that. Also, send them to loveisrespect.org. I'm going to start putting this in every description below. Also, I'm going to put a PayPal link so that any of you, if you have extra funds to donate and you love this channel, you can help out, because this may peter off. The way it's going right now, I need to start generating some donations just so I can continue the channel. And so I'm just going to put that there for anybody who wants to. Just going to add that at every episode. And it's Kirsten, B, K-Y-R-S-T-E-N, B as in boy, @gmail.com. Put it down below. Have a great day. Thank you guys so much for being here. You make me so happy. You heal me by being here. It's a synergistic thing. And I value each and every one of you. 103 right now we have, and that has grown massively in the last 2 weeks. So I'm just so grateful to you, and I'm grateful that you're still here and that this is working for you. Like and subscribe below so you can see all the videos. I put out a video a day, sometimes more. Usually it averages one a day though. So if you have anything you want me to cover too, just throw it out there and I'll see what I can do. So if you have any questions, let me know. All right.